Velocity now 600 feet per second, altitude 14,000 feet.
All right, to give you an idea what the commander is looking at, the box in your lower right, this is a heads-up display that he's looking at on a computer screen. And as they make their turn around and get ready to line up on runway 22, this is what he would see on his glide slope.
280 at 8, gust to 16, 7, peak 12 from the right.
The shuttle basically acts as a large glider.
That last-minute wind information being passed to pilot Ron Graby and Commander Dave Walker. Atlantis now 5 miles from the runway at a velocity of 500 feet per second, altitude 6,000 feet. Altitude 2,500 feet. And Walker will be taking the vehicle into the pre-flare maneuver, adjusting the glide slope to 1.5 degrees. Landing gear down and locked. Main gear touchdown. Nose gear touchdown.
Normally you see that front wheel touch down, but with the last-minute change, and I do mean the last-minute change of going from runway 17, where they were all set for the arrival of Atlantis, to runway 22, left them a little bit out of position for the cameras. You see some of the trucks that are moving back into position.
Runway 22 at Edwards.
They were expecting 8-knot crosswinds. The convoy was set up again on runway 17. They had to move over to 22.
Take care of all the post-landing activity following a safe homecoming.
Four days and 56 minutes, but the major objective was accomplished on day one. That was the Magellan spacecraft.
You've extended the shuttle's reach far beyond Earth orbit now. Commodore Magellan would approve.
Roger that. Thank you, Frank.
Commodore Magellan, this spacecraft that was sent on its way to Venus, named after the Portuguese explorer, the first to sail around the world, and if he were here today, would probably find it very difficult to believe that men are no longer going around the world in sailing ships.
No post-landing deltas.
So they say there is no problem with the orbiter. They're on the ground. They're safely back. We, of course, will have continuing coverage, and we'll be back in just a moment. About 5 minutes ago, Atlantis streaked over the California coastline, touched down at Edwards Air Force Base on runway 22. A little last-minute drama when they made a change. They were supposed to land on runway 17, but they had high gusty winds, a little too high for NASA officials, and they decided at the last minute to change runways. Once again, 4-day, 56-minute mission of Atlantis has come to a close with a safe return at Edwards Air Force Base in California.
Roger, Ohms RCS safing. Thank you, Dave.
You can see the picture of the convoy now making their way. They had to travel several miles away. Let's take now another look about 5 minutes back as Atlantis came down majestically out of the sky. And Dr. Thornton, if you're joining us there in Houston, the feeling must be pretty fantastic at look out the window.
And also, you come back with a different body than when you left. You are now making the transition from space back to Earth, and you're beginning, for example, to feel the weight of external objects. Is there any way that a person who perhaps...
who could perhaps, I don't know, flies in an airplane, or any kind of way to describe it so that our viewers might be able to compare it with anything? Is there any kind of comparison for the feeling?
Not really. It would be difficult. As I indicated, there is a bit of bump coming back, but not really. The touchdowns are very smooth, the rollout, all of that.
Dr. Thornton, you've got about 3,300 hours flying in a jet aircraft. Most people do their flying as a passenger. What's the difference between, say, flying on a commercial aircraft and flying as a payload specialist or a mission specialist here? We've had congressmen and senators who have flown on this. Could just about anybody strap themselves in one of the back seats and go along for the ride?
That's theoretically possible. It may not be desirable. Certainly the physical factors are not that great. It's a little bit of a rough ride coming back, but not enough to disturb anyone. Touchdowns are very smooth. It's far more interesting looking at the aspects, though, from a pilot's viewpoint, because remember, when you're 2,000 feet above the ground, you still have a sink rate of 5,000 or 6,000 feet per minute, and ordinary pilots aren't used to that kind of thing.
What's going on right now? We hear conversations back and forth from Mission Control periodically to the shuttle. Is it a busy time?
Yes, now